How much is it? 1,100? Okay. So, money, money, money. Must be funny in the rich man's world. Aha. Very much. For me, not Spain.
That Prosecco is actually a lot cheaper in Austria, even though everybody's raving about how cheap it is to be a retiree in, Southeast Asia. And I'll tell you, I watched so many videos about cheap living for retirees in Southeast Asia. So my friend and I, who's also retired at the same time as me at 60, we went off to Asia for 3 months, just, to have a look and see what it's about and if this is really possible. Well, I'll tell you it is. It's a lot cheaper there, except for the Prosecco, of course, because that's an Italian product, so it's a lot cheaper in Austria than in Thailand. But that's not the reason one shouldn't go, because you can drink Chang beer or water, bottled water. The water's not safe to drink there. That's also one reason. You've got to buy bottled water all the time. In Austria, we have water that comes out the tap, which is perfectly good and fine for drinking. And nice rent, nice accommodation to stay in for a lot cheaper than in Europe. So that's also a good thing. That's a plus point. Of course, I understand this because as I said, I'd watched all these YouTube videos from pensioners living in Southeast Asia with a small pension. But there's some things that didn't quite align with me. Litter, they've got a huge litter problem, and the place does get very touristy. The places I saw, some of them were very touristy. I also saw nice places that were mostly just for Thai people, where the litter was a lot more apparent, and the poor Thailand can't even do something about that because the trash of the world comes in to the Gulf of Thailand, and that's a problem. Every Wednesday, tomorrow, we can help clean.
Yeah, that's great. Great idea.
Do you want to?
Well, we can make a deal. We pick up the plastic every day and stay away from the cleaning day.
Also went to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, had a look around there. So we traveled extensively. Well, extensively, how much can you travel in 3 months? But you can get a good feeling of the price of things, and it's true. Everything is really cheaper there. The people are friendly. But as I said, okay, there's that trash problem that I just couldn't align with. I'm used to Austria. It's clean here. And I do, as you know from my previous video, I do also spend a lot of time in South Africa. I grew up there. There's also quite a litter problem there, but nothing like Asia. The problem is, for me, the millions of stray dogs and cats. I didn't really see them in Malaysia because I think the Muslim background, they don't like dogs, so I didn't see those much in Asia. But in Thailand, it's rife with stray dogs, like really millions of them. I've never seen anything like that in my life. And the elephants, it's just a slap in your face. You don't even have to go looking for it, you see them swaying, tied up, waiting for tourists to come and feed them. I'm not used to that. I grew up in Africa. only ever seen wild elephants, and that's the only way I want to see them. So there's that. And then, you know what, it's also so far away from home. So if you close to your family, you are going to be very far away from them, unless they can all afford to come and see you, which will be nice, a beautiful place for the kids to go on holiday and the family to have a nice holiday. But as we have our background also in Austria and South Africa, we all tend to meet up in Austria and in South Africa. So that's difficult. And then language. That's also like a barrier. A lot of them speak a very basic English, so you can sort of communicate, but you can't just start talking to them like you do, you know, at home. So that would be something that's just not for me, is that. But that said, I find the people very friendly, absolutely, a lot friendlier than they are in Austria, actually. In Austria, people are very unfriendly, very rude, just, you know, sort of polite. Just the basic sort of politeness, if you're lucky. So there's a lot that does really speak for living in a place like Thailand. You've got all this beauty, jungle, big plants, fantastic bird life, healthy food. I love the street food there. You can have a really good meal for like €2 and a healthy meal, and all the delicious fruit, freshly picked, you know, mangoes, papaya, mangosteen, avocados. It's like heavenly. But even though it's cheap and my pension would go a lot further there than it does here, there's just, as I said, those points that I can't align with. But that said, as far as cities go, I know Vienna well. I know Cape Town fairly well because growing up in South Africa, and I've been to Bangkok a few times, twice. Bangkok is a fantastic city, so if you're a retiree that wants to live in a city, well, I tell you, Bangkok has it all. You'll still see the stray dogs, but they kind of survive there. But it's so vibrant and so alive, and it's got these skyscrapers and people. As I said, they are friendly, and the transport is cheap. You can hire a tuk-tuk and it's cheap to travel around. You don't need a car. Fantastic. I really loved that about Bangkok. Better than Cape Town, better than Vienna, and all the greenery. In Vienna, they've got tree phobia. Trees are cut down. I don't see much trees in the city. That's why, for me, in my retirement, Asia is just not an option. Even though I actually cried when I left Langkawi. I had made friends with the lady that was running the place where we were staying, and it was cheap to live there, and it was stunningly beautiful. But my family is here and in South Africa, and I think that's like the main point. One of the big points. Do you want to be all alone with no friends? Because making new friends where people don't speak your language that you used to, I don't think that's going to be so easy. So that's why I'm staying in Austria and or in South Africa. If you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Claudia and this channel is called Past Halfway, because in truth I am over halfway of my life at 63 now. Somehow I don't think I'm going to make it to 126. But maybe, who knows, then my halfway has only just begun. And if you like this, then please give it a like, and a subscription would be much appreciated. And thank you for watching. The food